What's up, guys? Danny here from the Lasercast, and we are talking about Joe Bob's Last Drive-In for Friday, April 23rd.
Hey, guys!
Oh, hey, Char, what's up?
Nothing. I just came back from my audition. What? Are you okay?
What kind of audition?
Oh, just me practicing for a role.
All right. You didn't use any razor wire or stick any needles in people's eyes, did you?
No.
Oh. So anyway, the first movie they did last night was Audition, where a woman uses razor wire to cut off people's ankles and sticks acupuncture needles into their eyeballs.
Take that
away. Yeah. Joe Bob's Last Drive-In last night. First of all, the double feature was fantastic. You had Audition from Takashi Miike, one of the most epic directors in Japan and the world. And then you had Mark L. Lester's class of 1984 sitting here with a future class of 2021 graduating from college.
PS52.
Oh, well.
Fifth grade.
Fifth grade, yeah. And so the double feature starts with Audition, and what I loved about this was just how into this Joe Bob got. You could tell that he could have talked about this for the whole 2.5 to 3 hours without ever running the movie. He was so into this conversation, and when Joe Bob is excited, you have a great episode of The Last Drive-In, of course.
I didn't even watch this movie.
No, but not because I told her that you can't watch it. You didn't.
Because I didn't, because on History of Horror, made by Eli Roth, who was on the last 2 weeks ago.
Last week's
Last Drive-In, he, so we saw a scene from Audition where she's cutting off a guy's foot with a needle. Well, a thread.
The razor wire, yeah.
Yeah, the razor wire.
With a big smile on her face.
Yeah, and I'm like,
yeah.
You know what? I'm just not going to watch
She knew that scene was coming. She didn't know when that scene was going to happen, but she was like, yeah, I've already seen enough. She watched the drive-in totals and then peaced out.
Like, once I heard Joe Bob said Audition, Daddy started freaking out. He was like,
somebody in the Mutant Fam, one of the great things, and I said this last week about The Last Drive-In, is it's one of the only times during the week where Twitter is not a toxic cesspool, because if you are tagging Mutant Fam or the Mutant Fam Twitter account, you are basically in a watch-along with fellow horror fans that are all having fun. And somebody said last night on Twitter, you always remember where you were the first time you saw Audition. And I remember, the movie came out in 99, and I was in college. I was in Binghamton University in upstate New York, and I remember finding that movie on one of those probably illegal torrent streams.
Oh, Daddy.
In the early days, back when Napster was a thing for music, and it blew my mind. I remember screaming at the screen. It was one of those movies, came out around the same time as a movie like Boondock Saints. They're nothing in common, but they're similar in the way that when you saw it, you felt like you needed to tell everyone you knew about this movie. Did you see Audition? Holy cow. And then you would go, and I looked up Takashi Miike, and I went out and I started to try to watch more of his work. I've seen Gozu, which is insane. Ichi the Killer. Holy crap. No, you can't watch those movies.
Hi.
No. I watched Dead or Alive when Joe Bob had it on the Thanksgiving Last Drive-In, 2019, I believe. He's just such a crazy filmmaker. And Joe Bob even told the story of the Masters of Horror episode where they went out of their way to get him to be a part of that. And then his episode was so extreme that they didn't release it. Somewhere in this DVD and Blu-ray collection, I have Imprint by Takashi Miike as a standalone DVD with my Masters of Horror. So when you get a little older, we could watch those. I mean,
Yeah, when I'm like 26.
I don't think so. You did watch the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and as much as we love you, Darcy, the original is better than the remake. I'm on Team Joe Bob. She never saw the remake yet, but I'll let you watch that.
I'll probably be on Team Darcy just because one, I love Darcy. And two, remakes are kind of bad, but you know, sometimes.
Sometimes they're good. You gotta watch the Evil Dead remake. But anyway, yeah, I don't want to spoil too much of Audition. I already said a lot. It is absolutely insane. And if you haven't seen it, go out of your way. Go on Shudder, watch it now. Joe Bob's The Last Drive-In, which premiere on Friday on the live Shudder TV. They go up, I believe, on the Sunday after. So we're filming this on Saturday night. It's gonna be live tomorrow morning. It'll be Sunday, and you can watch The Last Drive-In tomorrow.
Can I just say that Joe Bob's obsessed with foreign films?
That's a good thing. You know how to read, right?
Yeah.
If you know how to read, you can watch foreign films.
I only watched one foreign film in my entire life, and that was in the Christmas.
It was Deadly Games. It was Deadly Games on The Last Drive-In Christmas special, and she enjoyed it.
It was just a crazy movie.
Yeah, Killer Santa.
Yeah.
The second movie is very warm to my heart for a few reasons. Class of 1984 was made in 1982 by Mark Lester. This movie was filmed in Canada, but it takes place at Abraham Lincoln High School. I spent 10 years...
I was like, wait, Abraham Lincoln High School? I
spent 10 years working at an Abraham Lincoln High School, not the one in the movie. And the lead villain in the movie, Tim Van Patten, is from Brooklyn, and if you ask him, he probably knows the Lincoln High School that I'm talking about. As a teacher, this movie is full of things I wish we could legally do. I always have, my heart always goes out to Roddy McDowell's character when he holds the class at gunpoint. This movie doesn't get enough respect, I think, as being the inspiration. I know Blackboard Jungle in the 50s, but the inspiration for all the movies that came out when I was in school, like The Dangerous Minds and The Substitute and all of those movies. A lot of people always go, oh, it was Lean on Me, or with Morgan Freeman, or Stand and Deliver. But this movie came out before those, and it is, you know, the urban high school, under duress, all the violence, all the drugs, teachers fighting back. Go ahead.
Can I mention that?
Oh yeah, tell them who's in it.
So someone from one of the scariest vampire movies in the entire world. He was the vampire fighter, Slayer, or something like that, from Fright Night. Yep. The older guy.
Roddy McDowell. He played the chemistry teacher who holds the students up with the gun, which is...
And who gets stabbed, you said, is from one of the best action movies in the entire world, Back from the Future, and he's the main guy.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
They have to go back from the past to the future.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, Michael J. Fox, of course, is in this. It's one of his first films. He's actually so young in this movie that he went by Michael Fox because he was having I think a disagreement with the Screen Actors Guild when he was like applying. He's 20 years old in this. He looks like he's what? You saw him. How old does he look in this movie? 13?
Yes.
Yeah, he looked...
I didn't even know who you were talking about at first.
But yeah, really underrated, gritty, nasty movie, and really enjoyed hearing Joe Bob talk about his parents being educators, which was a lot of fun. And yeah, that's it. Oh, also great Alice Cooper soundtrack, Darcy. And I want to shout out YUKI, who had a great segment with Joe Bob translating Japanese during the first half of The Last Drive-In when they were watching Audition. Joe Bob was like, he had all the members of the cast and crew of that film written in Japanese, translated by YUKI, and YUKI was great to have on And that's it for us.
I'm sorry for interrupting, but I gotta go back. I have my audition at right now.
All right.
Okay, bye.
If they bring out the razor wire, run.
Okay.
That's it for us. We will be back next weekend. You're back already. We'll be back next weekend covering the next Last Drive-In. Next Friday is April 30th, which means during the Last Drive-In, the clock will strike midnight, and that means on Saturday we will be filming a very special Happy Birthday to Me edition of the Last Drive-In recap. So this has been Danny and Charlotte. She's off at her audition, and she is also in the class of, well, not quite 1984, but 2021. And we will see you very soon.